When we're considering evaluations, we need to assess our main goals first. This goal should be to create an avid learner. And what does an avid learner look like? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Are they a person who walks into a bookstore and asks exuberantly to be on the waiting list for the new textbook coming out on the Civil War? Yeah, not necessarily. But they are those who have acquired an interest in learning. They ask more questions. They seek answers out for themselves in good company, literature, internet, or documentaries. When evaluating our learners, we need to think about our style and intent of questioning. We need to think about how we approach reviews, using oral questions at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, the end of the lesson, beginning of lessons. We need to think about cognitive skills development and the different ways that we can ask our children to respond to information. Now we're going to look at learning styles and how they affect our evaluations. So what we want to keep in mind before we begin is that we at Teaching Your Child are not advocating you to teach only 2 specific learning styles. This is a tool to gain understanding about yourself and your students. We believe that our goal is to teach you, the parent, how to create well-rounded learners that are equipped and strengthened by all styles of learning. If we understand learning styles for an individual, then we can see how to introduce a subject, how to practice a subject, and how to evaluate with material using all learning styles. So how do we strengthen each individual's confidence? We want to play to their strongest learning style. How do we strengthen an individual's full capability? That's working with their weaker learning styles to create that well-rounded learner. Let's first look at the tactile, kinesthetic, natural, and solitary learners and how we're going to evaluate them. We want to evaluate through a multisensory approach. So this is like a show and create. This may seem to some like the more fun aspects of evaluations, but it is the best way to evaluate your tactile kinesthetic learners. If you want to strengthen a tactile kinesthetic or natural or solitary learning style, meaning have them learn theoretical information and then go on a fact-finding mission to negate these theories. Have them summarize situations. But if you're trying to have them strengthen it, then make sure that they take the time to digest the information before they discuss it. The next learning styles we want to look at are the auditory, musical, social, solitary, verbal, and linguistic. If their strong suit of learning is in this style, then you want to evaluate orally. If you're wanting to strengthen this learning style, have them read and create diagrams and charts and tables for information that's learned. Now, if we're talking about visual, spatial, logical, verbal, linguistic, mathematical, and solitary learners, the best way to evaluate them is through written evaluations. Now, if you want to strengthen it, have them practice explaining material by retelling it orally. And that's it for evaluations. Again, we want to teach you 3 methods to gathering evaluations. So we're going to do that in our next few modules that we'll go over in detail. The first one to go to is questioning techniques, followed by portfolios, and then test construction. See you there.